Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, I am Psychic Bella Love, and you can book your own personal and private reading with me on my website, psychicbellalove.com. And if you book before the 12th of November 2021, you can use coupon code November to get $20 off any reading, excluding emergency appointments. And if you book after that date and you are a new customer, you can use coupon code NEW, all in caps, at checkout to get extra money off. Also, you can join my Patreon. That is the only place where I take requests for videos at the appropriate tier. We also get deep into conspiracy theories, the evils of the industry, and what really goes on with all of that. So you've been warned before you join over there if you can't handle that kind of stuff. And we have exclusive lives. I upload content daily over there, and I post completely separate content to Patreon, so I'm not editing down anything from Patreon over here. And if you've been here for a while, you know that any kind of editing or doing anything techie is not my thing anyways. I don't even know how to do that. So, and also you can follow my backup channel. That will be the place that I will be doing all of my lives from once we reach 1,000 subscribers, which is the YouTube threshold to go live. And follow me on Instagram. That's usually where I post first if I am doing any kind of specials or sales, or where I'm gonna do lives and things like that. So that will all be linked in the description box below. So I did a couple videos already in regards to the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival debacle, and already we're seeing, you know, things from that coming out as true, but I didn't really talk about Drake so much in those because I kept seeing like conflicting things about whether or not he was even there, because there was some reports that were saying that everything got shut down before Drake was supposed to go on, and that he arrived to the venue late because of traffic or some stuff. And then later on, everybody was saying that Drake was performing on stage during the chaos that was occurring. And so now he has been named in the first of what will be many lawsuits to come, I am sure. So I wanted to take a look at, you know, is he going to get canceled in the same way that Travis and Kylie are? Is he going to deal with the same kind of consequences that I was picking up in regards to Travis? And you guys can go back and look that video up. I know people were wondering about, you know, the darker things that people were saying about all of that. I did do a follow-up to that. It is on my Patreon. I had to only post it on my Patreon because, you guys, there's so much stuff that we can't even say the P word that we were all in the middle of right now. So if you guys think that we can talk about ritualistic things on here, we cannot. So we have to have another place that we can post those readings, and that's what Patreon is for. So you can watch the first video that I posted up here, and if you do want to know about those kinds of things, you can go over to my Patreon. I did discuss some of Drake's stuff over there, but I didn't get into, you know, if he's getting canceled or anything like that. So let's see if he's going to, if this whole situation's going to really, you know, take everybody out around it. Spirit, please join me and answer any questions that we have in regards to the artist known as Drake. Thank you, Spirit. we're going to be asking and focusing on questions surrounding the tragedies that happened over the weekend at Travis Scott's festival known as Astroworld. Thank you. We're asking only with the intention and purpose of clarity and understanding, not with any bad intent, just so that we know the truth around everything that's going on right now. Thank you, Spirit. Please bless and protect all who we ask for in this reading, as well as all who listen and participate. Thank you, Spirit. Amen. And just like the videos that I did previously, this will be monetized. But again, once there is some sort of, you know, victim fund setup that we know is a real one, you know, because people always unfortunately are disgusting and try to capitalize off of tragedies and, you know, make fake GoFundMes and whatnot. Then when, you know, YouTube does its payout, I will be donating all of the proceeds from this video, as well as the other videos that have any sort of monetization on them surrounding this situation, and will continue to do so. And also, I do have an altar that I put up specifically for the victims and their families that I have candles going on, and I am keeping them uplifted in prayer. Every time I start tapping into this situation, I just overwhelmingly immediately want to start crying. So sorry guys if I like suddenly became very awkward, because I'm trying not to. I'm a Libra. We don't like people seeing our emotions, so I don't like crying on camera, and that's why I don't like doing medium. I don't do mediumship readings on YouTube anymore anyways, but we have done several over on Patreon. But thank God that, you know, it was Tupac and Michael Jackson always try to keep my spirits up, because I always end up crying in mediumship readings if we're talking about people being hurt or losing their lives. So it's very hard to get through some of these sometimes for us on this other side of it, because, you know, when we connect to the energy, we connect all of the sadness and devastation that's going on in those situations. And then of course, you know, we're empaths too, so be kind to your readers, okay? Alrighty. And as of right now, when I'm recording this, you guys, which is at 10:04 a.m. Pacific on Monday, I think today's the 8th. I have not seen or heard that Drake has released any sort of statement in regards to what happened either. So it just wanted to say that. I don't know if he has or will later on today or something, but as of right now, like I said, and I did try to look and I didn't see anything anywhere. So okay. So the first thing that's coming up is that he's definitely, like Travis, like Kylie, you know, worried about how this is going to come back to affect him, both within the public perception as well as financially, you know, because we're not just talking about the context of people's lawsuits right now. It's also about, you know, are people still going to want to support you financially in the future? And so he is very concerned about all of that. And he has kept going back and forth, Spirit is saying, on how they're going to address this from his end, because obviously we saw that, you know, people really weren't so happy to just accept the usual song and dance that we get when something like this happens, where we're devastated, thoughts and prayers, we're gonna, you know, work with law enforcement, blah, 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 blah. It's always the same thing, right? And this time around, everybody's not buying it. And even though as of this morning, you know, what I saw was that Travis has now, you know, said that they're going to be refunding everybody. He's not performing at any of his upcoming appearances, so those tickets will be refunded as well. And that he's also going to be paying the funeral costs of the victims. But people are still saying, you know, that's definitely not enough. And people are dragging him for his history of, you know, having those inciting violence sort of charges and things that he's dealt with in the past. As well as now, you know, other people are coming out with stories about how he left one of his producers or managers to just have a seizure and didn't do anything to help him. And people are saying that he was using fake streams to get his career going in the first place. So there's a lot going on, you know, right now. But I said in my reading on this situation in regards to Travis and Kylie that those were things that are going to be brought up. And Spirit is saying that the same way that Travis is obviously going to have the possibility of legal charges pressed against him, as well as tons of lawsuits, I do see this happening in the cards in regards to Drake as well. So we've got this Judgment card, the Nine of Wands, and the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is usually your going to jail card. You know, Four of Swords and Eight of Swords. And so, and we'll talk about what's in the underlying energy bottom of the deck in a moment. But they are going to, because the Lovers card is also, you know, wrapped around this. So they are going to lump in everybody who was a part of this. You know, I don't necessarily feel that, like, right now anybody is going to pursue, like, legal charges against Kylie and Kendall for being there. But Travis and the other performers are definitely going to see that there is at least an attempt made to pursue actual charges, legal charges, felony misdemeanors, whatever it falls under, against all of the performers who were there. So Drake, we will see, is going to, you know, because again, it's always with him about public perception. I'm, you know, that nice guy, but don't mess with me too much, because then I'm going to turn around and bite your ass like the Scorpio that I am, right? Well, expect that we will see Drake do things like, I'm going to throw a benefit concert in Houston, you know, and stuff like that, trying to act like, you know, I'm doing the right thing. And so it feels very much like a copy of what Ariana Grande did for the Manchester victims. And, you know, let's just be honest, Ariana was completely 100% actually truly affected and devastated and has real PTSD from what happened, because she's actually a human being with a soul and feelings and empathy and compassion for other people. And so when she did that, it really was her trying to do whatever she could and use the celebrity that she had for a good cause and to give back and to, you know, do whatever she could to make it right, even though it was not her responsibility to do that, because she had nothing to do with it, and it was a bomb. You know, it wasn't comparable to what happened in this situation where one after another people kept being injured or dying or getting hurt, and there was so many opportunities for you to stop things, and you continued to keep going and going and going, which led to even worse problems. So, but Drake is definitely going to try to copy how Ariana did everything. And it is funny because I was like, who's this Queen of Cups? And Spirit's like, Ariana Grande, you know, Cancer sign. And so this is going to be how Drake tries to spin things in his favor. And also, you guys, I am getting that, and I was getting that this morning, and I did post this in Patreon earlier, so because Spirit tells me stuff, you guys, at the most inopportune times, and I'm like, I am not going to remember that, and I forget. So I always am like saving things in my notes and trying to put it wherever I can, so that way I can remember to post it later or talk about it. But they were saying that Drake, in order to, you know, absolve himself, so to speak, of being held responsible, either financially in these lawsuits or, you know, to maybe circumvent the legal system from trying to come after him as well, that he's going to try to sue Live Nation and the promoters and the organizers of the concert to try to flip things around, as in, I am also a victim. You put me at safety, and now you've ruined my career, and everybody's upset with me, and I'm being sued, and it's your fault. So he's, you know, and then he's, of course, going to try to deflect and let Travis take the fall, so to speak. And that's where we have this devil card, Knight of Swords and Eight of Swords, where basically Drake's going to run off on the plug, aka Travis, and try to leave him standing, holding all of the responsibility for this. So, and if you want to really know Drake's extent of involvement in all of this, you really want to go watch part 2 to that first video I did on that. It's in my Patreon. Join at the $9 tier so you can have access to all the videos. So I want to see, as far as, you know, this whole Drake situation too, is Drake going to be canceled with the public? How is the public going to respond to Drake going forward? Is this going to have any negative impact on his career? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, they're telling me the same exact thing that they told me when I asked this question on Patreon last night. He's gonna have some negative fallout from it, but he will be able to exonerate himself in a sense. But that's because this Tower card moment / karma is really centered more around Kylie and Travis and them kind of getting back for, I mean, it's really not even karma. It's being held accountable and the consequences of your actions. And this is what happens when you're a shitty person who puts everything above your morals and values and other people's safety and lives. And Spirit is saying, in the karmic sense, Drake has a bigger downfall that he's already working his way towards, between all of the bad karma that he's incurred and being so into his ego, and he, you know, has not always been the nicest person or done the greatest of things. So, you know, sometimes, remember, you guys, the harder you climb, or the higher you climb, the harder you fall, right? And so that's why sometimes we see people seemingly getting away with things, because Spirit says you need more of an audience when it's your turn to get canceled. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end that here. I love you all so much. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. Do you think Drake deserves to be held accountable, you know, as much as Travis and the rest of them. And do you think Travis should be held accountable, or do you think that, you know, it should be more Live Nation and other people? Keep in mind, Travis also was listed as producer on this. So I would think that, you know, the same way that Alec Baldwin, lawyers have been saying that, you know, in his situation, even if they didn't hold him accountable for actually being the one who pulled the trigger, there still could be some back end accountability, since he was also a producer, that he didn't do enough of a job as a producer in keeping the set safe and in line so that accidents like that wouldn't happen. So, you know, I mean, if Alec Baldwin is going to be held accountable as a producer, do you think Travis should as well? So let me know. Remember to keep things respectful, you guys. This is a tragedy. A lot of people were hurt or lost their lives. It's not something to, you know, fight over and be disrespectful. We can share our opinions respectfully. Also, make sure you turn on your notification bell, because I do have a lot of videos that are coming up this week, and go back and look at my previous videos, because I have been on an uploading spree, and there will be daily content uploaded throughout November and December. And follow the backup channel, join my Patreon, and follow me on Instagram. All that information will be linked in the description box below, as well as where you can book your own personal private reading with me. Bye, guys.